Welcome back to the Enemies of the Fire podcast. Now, you take 1 week off and everything happens. The U.S. gets a new coach. Americans abroad kick off their season in Europe. And the Chicago Fire, there's news. The Chicago Fire have done something. Now, I am FC Neo Tokyo. This is James. This is DPG. Gentlemen, DPG, James, and one of you, how do you feel? Did the U.S. get their man?
Well,
Is this the man?
They haven't gotten their man officially yet, but rumor has it from reputable sources, many reputable sources, that Pochettino is becoming the U.S. men's national team coach. I mean, his son's confirmed it. I mean, you got other people, everybody around the world that knows it's the worst kept secret in sports right now, and I couldn't be more over the moon about it. How do you guys feel?
So I honestly think this is a great move for the U.S. soccer. I know there's a lot of doubters saying, "Oh, well, he didn't, Pochettino didn't do that well in Chelsea, or he was getting to that point at Chelsea or Tottenham, but whatever." The point is, you got a guy here that can actually bring things to the table, new ideas to the table. Someone that's not going to be the whole repetitive MLS washback that we are so used to having. So I think this was a great move. I cannot wait for him to get started. And the fact is right now, for all we know, he's probably is officially signed. They just haven't announced it yet. Right now, they're probably setting the table for that.
Yeah, I guess I came in a little too hot on that because from what I had understood, he was going to be announced today. And we don't even need to go into it, but I've been kind of off the radar the last 2 days. So I thought, oh, we're good. So anyway, I don't know if you guys remember, but I didn't believe that Klopp was going to happen, and I had my fears about Trundle.
I think Klopp was seriously on the table, guys. He's not coaching anybody.
Yeah,
I
think
Klopp
they
is
got
not coaching anybody right now. Klopp was legitimately on the table.
I honestly think that Klopp didn't take that opportunity just because, in a sense, it kind of feels like a rush job. When you have a guy like Klopp, you want to give him the whole 4 years. You want the whole process from day one all the way.
Oh, I would disagree. I don't think that's necessarily as important.
I think
so.
He just
wanted
Klopp likes the table a little bit more set for him, where Pochettino's used to walking into shambles, situations that are just in shambles, and he's like, all right, I can pick up the pieces of Espanyol, of Tottenham, of Bordeaux, of Southampton.
Yeah, he was not bad at Chelsea. What he did at Tottenham was Herculean. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, what I was getting to is I actually was calling for Ponch. I thought he was realistic as, like, the best we could possibly get. But realistically, right? It was going to take work. And I can't believe that this is happening. I'm excited, but I'm kind of, like, there's still this empty pit. Because, like, honestly, as much as, like, yes, we're going to comb over every second of friendlies, like, he's going to be running out guys that we're going to be like, why does he rate him? He doesn't yet. He wants to see him, right? So, like, nothing matters until the World Cup game 1. And that sucks. We don't get, we don't have a Nations League, a Gold Cup, nothing that I give a you-know-what about. Yeah. Copa America is in the rear view, and there's nothing that matters. And, like, that's the scary thing, man. Be careful what you wish for, because
here's the thing.
We got nobody to blame.
Here's the thing. To me, the first thing that kind of strikes me about Pochettino is that he's a guy that doesn't take any crap. Like, he has gotten in fights with media people. He will fight if he has to. He's not this whole, like, mellow, quiet guy. No, he's very vocal. And that's kind of, you need a guy like that. And with this team, you need a guy that's going to put his foot down and not be like the whole, oh my God, he said hi to me today. No, he's going to make you work. And that's the kind of guy that we need. But overall, I mean, if honestly, you could almost think of this as a possibility for a long-term coach. Because depending on how well he does in the World Cup in 2026, you might have to wonder whether or not you should probably keep him for another 4 years and see what he can do one more time.
There's no question. Immediately want to keep him for another 4 years. I just don't think that's on the table. I think Manchester United, some other club is already licking their chops looking at his contract expiring. He's one of the top tier of that second tier of coaching where some of the best teams in the world that are aspiring that maybe want to do a little culture change. Maybe that's what they want to do. Chelsea, of course, was never the right fit. Chelsea's never the right fit for anybody. Yeah. That's what it comes down to. They're just always, they have 40 players. They're
an absolute mess.
They have so many players there. It's like, if you're a real player, how are you picking that club to go prove yourself when it's just like, it's just impossible to, when you could go to another club and actually make a name for yourself, get those minutes. It just doesn't make sense. Yeah, there's problems over there. But and he figured it out. That's why they mutually walked away. And it's funny that, guess what? The last 2 Chelsea coaches are now going to be the next U.S. coaches.
Oh, you're right.
U.S. women's with Emma Hayes and U.S. men's with Pochettino. And here's what they've done for Emma Hayes.
God, bully.
Here's what they've done for Emma Hayes that I hope that they do for Pochettino. They've given Emma Hayes the keys to the car. They've given her the run of the grill. They've given her the hamburger flipper, all the ingredients. They said, all right, we'll give you all the sous chefs and the greatest ingredients in the world. What do you need? We got to do that for Pochettino. But the problem is but here's what it is for Pochettino. We're going to give you the absolute best sous chefs in the world, because Pochettino's coaching team is coming with him. A lot of his guys are coming with him. But the ingredients that they're going to work with, or that we do know that. A lot of his guys are coming.
How else are you going to convince him to come to the U.S.
Exactly.
Soccer?
Yeah, but my point is that the ingredients that he's going to be working with will be not as good as what Emma Hayes is working with. Her ingredients are amongst the best in the world. American ingredients are B tier, C tier. They're still good. You don't have to feed them exactly to your dog. You could feed them to humans still, but he's gonna have to make do with a worse grade sushi in order to make delectable 3-course 3-star Michelin meals. But also, James, we don't need a trophy. So
James, so what you're saying, James, is that the man has to basically take 7-Eleven sushi, all right,
repurpose it
into like a Michelin caliber.
No, what he does is he pulls a trick, and instead of give you sushi, he gives you the hot dogs on the roller.
Well, the thing about Michelin is it's just a car tire company. That's the real thing about Michelin stars. And what it was that it was good tasting, simple food that you could get right off the road of America. That was the theory behind Michelin stars. That's why it originally started. So if they could apply that with taking, the best of the best quality of stuff that you can get with America, which there is going to be some good high-grade meat in there. You got your Christian Pulisic, and there's also going to be some mystery fish that you still have not yet seen. You're going to be like, ooh, barracuda.
There is a player now that we will not know exist until next year at this moment that will either start or be first off the bench for the U.S. That's just how
it seems like
soccer works.
Yeah. I mean, where did Lamine Yamal come from? Exactly. It's just
exactly.
It's funny we're talking about this because 15 years ago we pretty much we knew everybody that was playing in Europe. Now we got to a point where it's very common to see American players scattered playing in European leagues, and you are correct. You're gonna find.
I think look at the first realistic thing that he might do is I think Miles Robinson and Walker Zimmerman are done. It's all about. He'll give Trusty and McKenzie all sorts of opportunities. Obviously Richards, but that's the no-brainer.
Well,
but do we see Brooks come back in the conversation? This is exciting because do we? Because what does Brooks do for his club? I don't watch German soccer.
Don't be surprised if he calls up Gaga for the full men's national team.
I wouldn't be surprised if by the time the World Cup rolls around, Gaga is obviously.
That's what I was saying. Why didn't they bring him to any of these recent things? Instead they brought this other guy.
No, they're letting him cook at Burnley. They're letting him cook. They let him get a launching pad to what we've seen 2 man of the matches to start the season, which is wild. And it's just funny because just a couple weeks ago I would have told you Brady was better, but you got to go with that hot hand, baby. So
you gotta go with the original fire legend kid.
So the one thing I really know about Pochettino is that it's not gonna be Red Bull ball, but it's gonna be pressing ball. Does Christian Pulisic and Gio Reyna's hamstrings keep from snapping? I mean, because Pulisic can press. We've seen him do it, right? But can Balogun? I mean, is Haji Wright now? Like, are we looking at a world where Haji Wright might be our number one striker right now? I mean, Josh Sargent's getting a lot of love.
You think over Balogun?
I mean, Balogun had a real stutter step of a season last year, while Sargent and Wright were injured for a big chunk of theirs, and then started getting that upswing, and apparently they both hitting the ground running this year. So it's just kind of, I don't know.
I mean, gotta admit though that this is I personally think it's an exciting moment because this is someone that's, that could bring a whole lot of ideas and possibly kind of change the face of this federation, the face of how we do things from the youth level and up. I mean, that's kind of the guy we want to bring in. It's a guy that's going to leave an impact. The guy that's going to kind of build that cornerstone for success for future generations.
Like build back better.
Exactly. Like build back better.
So I'm ready to. I don't know about you, James, but I am ready for Yunus Musah's reign of terror, because I kind of see him as the most pressing. I mean, Tyler Adams does a job, but will Tyler Adams, we need to see Tyler Adams do Bournemouth for a year or two here before I got any faith in him holding up. I think Musah is kind of the next. I think he's poised for a bigger role in this team.
Absolutely.
Under Ponch.
I very much agree with that. But you know whose position I am worried about, as you guys were just talking about with Haji Wright, Florian Balogun is. I wonder how much longer he's going to be a starter at AS Monaco.
I was about to say, is he still at Monaco?
He is at Monaco. He's starting next. He is at Monaco. He's starting next to a very good lineup with Brice and Bolo as his striking partner, but it's been relatively quiet to open the season. So,
France has only played one game, right?
Well, yeah. They've played a game against Barcelona. They both started. They played against Genoa. It's just he's been getting going. It's just I'm hoping that we don't see a backstep from Florian Balogun with AS Monaco, because I wonder if that. I mean, what's Pochettino going to be left to do to take a guy who's not playing for Monaco? If that's eventually how it ends up. I'm just looking at the tea leaves, seeing him getting subbed out early in these matches, these recent matches. But it is, of course, early days.
So which Twitter account do you think is going to scan her head explode first when Pochettino calls up an MLS player?
I think that there's going to be worthy MLS players, and it's going to be
there always is. That's been the point. I've fought for that on this podcast.
I mean, you need bodies on the bench. So.
Oh my God, you need bodies.
There's going to be a worthy MLS player or two or a few. And,
what happens when
maybe it's a kid? Maybe it's a kid who's having a great season.
Exactly. What happens when a kid is scoring goals for fun in MLS, and he's on his rookie deal, so he's in MLS.
Again, you need bodies. You need bodies on the bench. All right. If there's a kid that's scoring goals on his rookie deal, you don't throw him. You don't throw him at the Wolves right away.
Always
if the Fire
Wolves,
fans had their way, it'd be Guti, but Guti ain't doing it yet.
Guti
is gone.
Gone?
Well, Guti. Well, I mean,
you want to talk contracts later? I have it pulled up.
Yeah. We're gonna have to. There's actual fire news. I can't believe this. So I guess.
Are we transferring stories?
Well, hold on. Before we let's wrap this up here. Let's. Like I said earlier, if this is not successful, we have nobody to blame. We went out. We can't blame Crocker, right? He did what we asked him to do.
I think he swung and hit a home run. I think but if you couldn't get Jurgen Klopp, great job. But this is the best that you could do besides that.
Can he be successful here?
Absolutely, 100%. You just got to let him cook. You got to give him the tools. Got to give him space. Got to let him pull the strings. You got to. People were saying the previous best coach was Jurgen Klinsman prior to this.
I would say Bob Bradley coaches circles around Jurgen Klinsman. I would say
agree.
Bob Bradley has been the least respected.
They're saying the most prestigious coach was Jurgen Klinsman. He coached Germany, and that was their claim. That his claim.
At that time, there was all sorts of fucking cock gobbling over Klinsman coming to the U.S. because of that German run, which we all found out Booger Eater was the brains behind.
So it turned out that Jurgen was a bit of a paper tiger. Do you guys think that's going to happen with Pochettino?
Nah, I think Pochettino is more or less.
Yeah, Ponch is he puts in the hard work.
He was in the Champions League. He lost, but he still brought a team
Tottenham,
far.
Tottenham.
I think they lost to Liverpool.
Harry Kane, Tottenham.
They lost to Jurgen Klopp.
If you bring that game up without Harry Kane, I guarantee you they'll win.
I don't know if they had Harry Kane for that game. He didn't start.
Is just he is just a curse embodied. He's not even like a real person.
You know what?
Harry Kane didn't start for that game. The championship game.
No.
Oh, he was hurt.
The spirit was still there though. If the contract is signed,
he was still there in spirit.
He's the name on the roster.
Just to drag Son down, right?
And the fact is that everybody.
Think about this: Pochettino cultivated a lot of that Tottenham team, and a lot of that Tottenham team is part of the England national squad. And no doubt, the English Federation was looking at him to coach. And I think he would have been an excellent steward having had raised those boys. But here he is looking for a bigger, harder challenge with the United States. Plus, it's the United States World Cup. So what do you think was driving him to choose that?
This is the biggest,
First of all, an Argentine coaching an England national team, there's
geopolitical issues.
Yeah,
right?
if that were to happen, who knows? Maybe England wins the World Cup. I don't know. That's the craziest I've seen it. But
if that happens, Enzo Fernandez gets to claim he's white. Anyway, no. So I don't know, man. I think he's gonna do it, man. I foresee the U.S. shockingly having a run. I think this is the biggest FU to the rest of the soccer world he could give. I think that's why he picked the U.S.
It was a bit of an FU to the soccer world. I didn't think about it that way, but I think you bring up a great point.
I'm untouchable. You saw what I did with Tottenham, and everybody still wants to rag on me.
I don't think it's an untouchableness. It's something else. It's like, dude, here's the amount of control that he had to wrest from the Chelsea board wasn't going to happen to do what he wanted to do. The amount of control that he needed to do what he wanted to do with PSG, with Leo Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe underneath him, and he's like, yeah, but I got to figure out what about next year when Mbappe's going to Real Madrid and Messi's gone to MLS, and they're like, we can't let you pull the strings. He's like, all right, so he leaves that situation. Where did he have a lot of success? Tottenham, where what they did was, at first, they stepped back. They were tight on him at first, and then as he got a little longer in the tooth, they let him back and have controls. And as the close of the club came, they got a little bit more tighter. But for a great run of almost 6 years there with Tottenham, he was given almost full control. That's what USA needs to do.
Holy crap! Did we just do a segment that was really positive about the men's national team?
I think they could do it.
Man, that's the first. That is the first smart move that this U.S. men's national team front office has done.
It really feels like it.
Since the start of the show, yes. Since the start of the show.
Well, actually, I was going to say disastrous Copa America performance, but
what do you guys see? What's a failure? I don't see him getting trophies. I'm not worried about trophies with this. This is about sending a message.
I mean, you can only beat up Mexico so much, you know. Mm-hmm. And we were doing that already with, Triple G. So
right. We're looking for a run, like you said. We could just make a little bit of a run, make some noise.
The problem with Triple G was that he couldn't beat the top 20 teams in the world except for Mexico.
He couldn't beat anybody.
That needs to change under Pochettino, and I think we're heading towards that direction. I think that Pochettino can. And we'll find what's the strengths of this team. We'll make magic happen somehow, and it will get us to the promised land. All right. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Anything below quarterfinals is a failure on this U.S. men's national
I totally
team.
agree. I mean, like, there's an extra knockout round game, so I think you have to win 2 knockout round games. I will take a final 8 in an expanded World Cup
Unless you run
because
into
you gotta
France or some shit like that.
You could run into somebody stupid.
Yeah.
You could win
like run into next generation Messi, Argentina.
And then Argentina like screwed up a game and got second. And then, So, but you gotta win 2 of those, man. You gotta win 2 knockout round games. That's success to me. Yeah. So, let us know what you think success is, man. And
find us in the comments. Let us know.
Yeah, if you're excited, man. Like I'm excited. I'm tempered but excited. So I guess we're coming back and we'll what do you guys want to talk about? All these fun Americans playing in Europe? I mean,
we could dabble.
It used to be a novel thing, man.
There's some transfers, right?
Oh man. Well, God, transfers and Europe and everything else. It's oh man, just as soon as I was like, I think I'm bored with MLS, soccer decided to get crazy again. So we will be back to cover all of it.
Here on Enemies of Fire, look that like button in the eye and punt it.
I'll show you first. It's a normal deck of cards. There's nothing funny going on. Cut the cards. 7. Cut the cards again. It's a 5. And cut the cards in half for me. No,
3.
No, in half. Right, so I'm going to tell you a story about what happened to me. Even I was walking on the street. I met these girls. There were these 2 redheads. I was walking, speaking to them for 1, 2, 3 minutes. And their friends came over. It was 2 brunettes. Said, "Hi, I'm Jedi. Nice to meet you." Said, "What are you doing tonight?" They said, "Oh, we're going to a party at 673 King Street." I said, "How much is it to get in?" They said, "It's 25 quid." I said, "How much?" I said, 25 quid. So, I'm walking down to them. Then someone rings me. I said, "Hello, Jedi speaking. Who is it?" I said, "Oh, what are you doing tonight?" I said, "Oh, I'm going up to a party with these girls at 700 and something King Street." And the girls knew that was wrong. They said, No. It's 673 King Street." I said, "Oh, my bad. Sorry, it's 673 King Street." Do you remember how much it was to get in? 25 quid. I said, "All I've got on me is £10." The bouncer said, "Don't lie." I said, "All right, I've got £40, but that's all I've got. Can you give me a good table with them at least?" They said, "Yeah, no problem, Jedi, I'll sort you out." So I cut the cards again. So when we got there, we ended up going into the casino, and everyone wanted me to cut cards for them, give them a good hand so that they'd win. So the first guy said, "Can you give me a pair of 4s and 3 8s?" I said, "Yeah, that's fine." There's 3 8s. The next guy said, "Oh, I want to beat that. Can you give me 4 9s?" So I said, "Yeah, that's fine." My friend who I walked in with, he said, "Can you give me an 8 and 4 aces?" I said, "No problem. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3, there's 4. Everyone looked at me and said, "Jedi, you're not going to beat that hand." And then I turn around and pull out with a flush.
Nah. Yeah. I used to love the video rental store.
Yeah, nothing says video rental store like. Are we talking about Blockbuster? Or are we talking about like the neighborhood?
No.
One?
Forget Block. Listen,
Family Video or Blockbuster?
No, with the beef.
Family Video. Okay, listen. I know I come from engineers, right? So I'm a little bit more math inclined, but I used to have a mathematical equation for when I would buy video games because me and the ex we both loved video games. So it was $1 a day, and a day was like 1.5, 2 hours worth of playing the game, right?
Yeah.
So like FIFA, I'd buy day 1 for $60 the minute it came out because I played that shit 200 days out of the year, right?
Easily. Back in the day. Oh, yeah.
But like Uncharted 2, I would just wait to buy it till it's like $17. But what I would do is go to Family Video because you could rent a game for 5 nights for $7.
Wow.
So it was like, okay, it wasn't quite my same algorithm, but like it was close enough. I'd rent it, beat it, boom. Yeah. Right. And then they also rented out porn. So
I was renting N64
Family Video
games, not porn.
was the spot to be, bro. Video games and porn. Come on.
We are recording, we're going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about a little bit about Americans abroad and McKinnie, and a little bit about some other news. We'll touch on some other stuff, and we're going to bring it on home here. But guys, McKinnie, we always bring up McKinnie.
Yeah.
Guess what's going on with Weston McKinnie? Juventus, just when you thought he was out, they're pulling him right back in. Thiago Motta is naming Juventus.
He went to the bleed curtains and got pulled out of him.
He's naming McKinnie to his squad for the first Serie A game against Como. So
did he get in? I missed it. I ended up watching the AC Milan game, actually.
I'll take a look while you guys talk a little bit about how, once again, it seems as he's going to be in the fold at least till the January window.
I mean, they could be shopping him.
They're hyping him up.
I think the problem is every MLS team looks at him as like he's just good, or like he's good enough to be on those teams, but he's not gonna ever be Barcelona's midfield or whatever, right? So he could come back to MLS to make a metric F ton of money, or he could fight it out and be like a club legend at, Southampton, right? So, like, it's where do you want your career to be? Do you want to be the man and make extra dollars and make it rain in America where you're from? Or do you want to, like, fight it out and be respected and still make it rain and be in the club?
I don't know how much he's going to fight it out because he stayed on the bench the entire game. Locatelli got a yellow card, but he still did not get subbed out. They had the option to bring Weston McKinnie in. He did not choose to, but guess who did score for Juventus? It was an American. Hint.
When he scores, I want flowers because of the mountain of shit that you two have talked that I have had to defend.
Go ahead.
Mr. Timothy Weah,
son of the president,
the
Tim
myth,
Weah,
the legend, son of the president.
Okay, so I'll let you have your moment, but by January, by spring, if that's his only goal, I'm gonna bring this back up.
It won't be, baby. It won't be.
All right.
Timothy Weah is the truth, man. And under Pochettino, it's gonna be epic. I'm telling you.
We will see.
So staying in Italy. Like I told you guys, I actually watched the Milan game. Yeah, they really kind of crapped the bed on that. It was the most Italian game ever. It started out and everyone stood in the same spot for like 20 minutes.
Yep, super defensive.
And then they started moving. Pulisic couldn't get going, and AC Milan gave up a goal and was just down most of the game and ended 2-2 because of another American who played well but came off the bench was Musah.
Ooh.
With a phenomenal... Musah had a phenomenal assist. And for those of you who have continued to listen into the second segment of the show, we mentioned Musah as ready to be a breakout star for the U.S. Gentlemen, what do we actually think? Is Musah ready for prime time? Is he going to be at Milan? Is it going to be like year 5, year 6, second or third contract, and he's starting mostly every game? Or no?
I think Musah is one for the future. I expect him to be starting in the World Cup. I mean, alongside Christian Pulisic and potentially in Serginio Dest, DPG's favorite.
I knew it.
DPG's favorite, Jedi, Robinson. I think that those guys are penciled in.
You're bringing up that walking red card.
I'm not sold on Flo Balogun yet because of this gentleman who scored over in England this weekend. It makes me ask questions about why I don't ever see him. I don't feel I don't see him in a U.S. jersey enough.
Sergino's the type of guy that you make fun of his shoes and you'll punch him in the mouth and get a red card.
I want nothing more than Serginio Dest to come to Chicago, and I want to go clubbing with Serginio Dest. I want to hang out with so badly.
You want him
seems like he's insane.
No,
my God.
Exactly. He's the kind of guy
absolutely insane.
He's the kind of guy that somebody actually bumps into him and says, "Yeah, I'm sorry, man," and he goes crazy on him. Like, what? punches the guy.
I feel like he's the cat that we're gonna find out years later. Like, oh God, what's the guy's name? Doc Ellis. Like, oh yeah, no, I was tripping that whole season at PSV, or like, you know what I mean? Like, we're gonna find out some crazy,
like Santino Quaranta situation.
Oh man, don't besmirch the good name of Santino Quaranta around here, brother.
No, the name that I want to bring up, and I've been waiting to bring up, is
he's gonna go Bobby Knight.
It's the ginger snap from Norwich.
Oh,
Josh Sargent.
Oh God.
Oh man, so I really like Josh Sargent and his game, and I think he is jockeying for this number one spot. I don't think he's the clear favorite, and I get like a really icky feeling for the people online who do advocate for him being
why? Because he's a redheaded stepchild. Literally,
not him, just his audience. Let's put it that way.
They're like gingers. Is that what it is?
A lot of Cartmans out there.
So, yeah. So it beyond that, like, I mean, the thing is, it's so funny, the ebbs and flows. Like, we thought we were solid at center back, right? And now it's kind of like, whoa, what are we doing?
Your favorite guy is leaving. Your favorite guy's
I could have told you, Guy. I could have told you that our center back was like...
He's 36 years old, 37, 38 years old.
Well, but hold on. I'm saying...
I even complained about the center back before Copa America. I even said, guys, this is a weak center back. This is a weak center back.
You're right. And
listen, like I was saying, we used to think that was a strength, and now we know it's a mess. We used to think the striker pool was a mess, and now look at the start of this season. Look at the guys with momentum. Look at the way, like, Haji Wright, yes, the phenomenal magical goal he scored in the World Cup.
Coventry. I'm saying he scored for Coventry this weekend.
Oh yeah, no, he scored in the death to win that game for Coventry, which is, that's going to come back and be a big effing deal. You got Josh Sargent, you got Haji Wright, who are really jockeying for number one. Ricardo Pepi just seems to like score the second he plays, but he doesn't get to play but like 6 minutes a game. And then you have Balogun, who we're all just like waiting for that breakout. It's coming, and it's kind of like, we're not at the disposal of all these wonderful gifts, but it's a little bit more of an exciting conversation than it has been the last couple seasons.
Balogun did put some shots on. Balogun did put some shots on net for Monaco. 4 shots, or at least 4 shots on goal, and at least one of those saved. So he is getting some stuff. Johnny Cardoso, Luca De La Torre, Gianluca Busio, Christopher Lund, Andrea Nokovic.
Well, Busio's hurt, isn't he?
He is out.
Yeah, Busio's hurt, which
De La Torre
was not in the
squad. Cardoso came in off the bench.
And he'll be starting soon. Cardoso is just getting back with his feet under him. I'm out of the kind of those kids that you just talked about. Cardoso is one of the most exciting ones out of that group. Luca De La Torre just, to me, has never, like, I mean, I do like how he like forearm shiver people who foul Christian Pulisic, but beyond that, I've never been a fan of his game, and I've never understood his kind of heir apparent like nature in the media. But I don't know, man. I'm excited about Johnny Cardoso.
Have you heard about this Kaveh Zahiro Lashalashlam?
I have not, but I'm damn sure that's not how you say it.
I'm confused.
Kaveh Zahiro Leslam. Kaveh Zahiro Leslam had a big day in Belgium when he had 2 goals and assists for St. Truiden in a 3-3 draw with newly promoted Dander. Pet Danders SV.
Dander FC.
The fact that you brought up someone that we have no idea who they are, that plays on a team that's called Dander.
You've heard of Caleb Wiley.
Well, he played against Dander.
Yeah, he played against Dander. What about Caleb Wiley, though?
Caleb Wiley got a start in his first game, that's a big deal. That kid wasn't getting starts at Atlanta, you know what I mean?
He was playing left wing, basically, and then he also played a little left back. And then old friend Paxton Aronson back over at Utrecht.
Brendan or Paxton?
Paxton.
Paxton. Okay, so
Paxton
he's
is over
at
at
Utrecht.
Utrecht. Yes, he's 20 years old right now. But he assisted on on the goal in the game.
Well, I mean, Americans were doing some things. I mean, Pulisic kind of was the one big, but I don't think Gio Reyna got on the bench, did he?
Guys, this
He's
is just
gotta get
hitting me. Serginio Dest is out till 2025.
Duh, did you not know that?
I forgot about that.
Dude, me and Serginio Dest is clubbing this year, bro.
Malik Tillman started for PSV. Richard Ledesma.
Well, Tillman got a goal last week because the Netherlands started a little bit earlier than everybody else. Netherlands in the championship. God, who else? I had notes. Hold on. But I don't know, man. I'm pretty excited. Oh, Brendan Aronson had a goal in the win that Leeds had to open up the season.
Very good.
I mean,
Brendan.
Do we see a future for either Aronson under Pochettino? Well,
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Under Pochettino.
I also see a future for Chelsea goalkeeper Gaga Slonina. He's got connections to Pochettino already.
Well, Barnsley is not a bad team.
And he's not a bad keeper.
And I feel like the championship is not a place to scoff at, especially when you're a second level nation like America. You know what I mean? Like you've got your top 10, let's say, and then you got your next 10. The U.S. is in the next 10. And the championship is not anything you should turn your nose at. I mean, well, we're talking about Haji Wright.
Do you think Matt Turner should drop down to the championship to get some playing time? Because he didn't even make the bench for Nottingham Forest.
Well, where's Ethan Horvath? I heard he had a howler. But Matt Turner needs to go somewhere. I mean, come back to MLS. You know, let's sell
he's
Chris
at Cardiff City.
Well, honestly, let's sell Chris Brady, right, to some European team, and then let's bring in Matt Turner. How you guys feel about that?
Wait,
I would be down.
Are you saying the Fire?
Yeah.
Sell Chris Brady. Let Brady chase the dream.
Correct.
And then bring in Matt Turner. I love that. And bring in GGG with him. That's his goalkeeper. Whoa.
It's a dogfight out there, dog.
That legitimately lines up.
The stars are aligning.
That lines up with Greg Berhalter coming to Chicago. I mean, 100%.
Kellen Acosta in the center. I'm liking it, man. I'm liking it.
It's gonna feel like a USMNT match.
I wouldn't mind. If you had him and
how many
Acosta,
decades have we gone?
That's a great team right there. Turner and Acosta, I'll take it.
Right? Like, how long has it been since there's been a USMNT player on the Fire to, give a shit about? You know what I mean? Like, we was hoping Harry Shipp was going to be something. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah,
and not, xenophobic or anything, but I would love to have an American, a prominent American player on the Fire to root for. You know, I guess.
You're wrong for calling out Harry Shipp like that.
I love Harry Shipp.
Yeah, man, I love Harry Shipp too. The man literally cried when he found out he was getting traded.
I feel you, and then he won a couple championships in Seattle.
All he wanted to do was play for Chicago. Yeah, he did win some championships. Anthony Robinson played well for Fulham this weekend. Chris Richards started for Crystal Palace. Matt Turner was not on the bench, as I previously mentioned. Fabian Herzler won his first Premier League game with Brighton and Hove.
I thought you were saying Fabian Albion.
Brighton Hove Albion beat Everton, which is Anthony. No, that's not Anthony Robinson. It's Fulham.
Nah.
Aiden Morris played 68 minutes for Middlesbrough in a loss.
Yeah, they lost. I think they're who Haji Wright beat, right?
Yes. Lyndon Gooch went 63 minutes for Stoke City. Dwayne Holmes.
Holy shit, Lyndon Gooch is not playing.
Lyndon Gooch went 63 minutes for Stoke City.
Holy crap! Isn't that guy almost 40? Well, he's 40.
No, he's probably he started young, dude. He played for some bad Sunderland teams too, man.
Dwayne Holmes got in the last 18 minutes of his match.
Is he still at Derby or Derby?
He's at Preston North End.
Oh crap, he's only 28.
Oh, that's where he was. You're right.
Austin Trusty went as an unused substitute.
Which is bullshit.
For
I would like to go on the record.
I'm not sure if he's on Sheffield or Queen's Park Rangers.
He's on Sheffield.
He's on Sheffield?
Wait. Yes, he's on Sheffield. Right? Yes.
See?
Don't question me.
Oh, yeah.
Which one, United or Wednesday?
He played a lot
Wednesday.
last season, but
No,
he's riding the bench right now.
It's got the swords.
He
It's got the swords.
He played a lot for them last season, so it's very concerning that he's riding the pine right now for them.
I wouldn't be concerned. I wouldn't be concerned. Take a fucking breath, James.
Reggie Cannon was not in the squad for QPR.
No surprise.
Surprise. Has Reggie Cannon played soccer since moving to Portugal? Like 3.5 years ago? Has this dude played a game? Has he had a down of football? Like, what's going on with Reggie Cannon?
For all we know, he could be the stadium greeter.
Brendan Aronson was mentioned. He did play the final 26 minutes of Leeds United's 0-0 draw. Ethan Horvath. Ethan Horvath was 0 saves and an own goal in a 5-0 loss. So
He made an own goal?
yeah, not a good start for Ethan
goal.
Horvath for Cardiff City against Burnley.
God, I hope Gaga gets his act together.
Gaga Slanina and Donovan Pines had a great week with Barnsley. Both players were huge in Barnsley's Carabao Cup win midweek. On Saturday, both players again shined on a 2-1 win away against Lincoln City. So they've just been playing really well. And the fans of Barnsley have been loving both those players. So watch out for Donovan Pines.
Whoa.
Yeah,
there
you went. Also in League One is a name called a name of a guy named Charlie Kelman, and he played all 90 for Leyton Orient.
God, I hate their name. I hate
Santiago Castaneda impressing over with Paderborn. Joe Scally.
Do you hear that scraping? That's the bottom.
Joe Scallywag. Joe Scallywag played all 90 minutes for Borussia Mönchengladbach in a 3-1 win. He's one player to watch this season.
Hold on. Scally played literally every game last season.
They're looking to offload him, though. They're looking to sell him, it seems.
Well, yeah, they want that. They're going to make a profit off him. That's why.
If James keeps scraping at the bottom of the barrel, pretty soon he's going to start mentioning Mix Discaroo did really work good in
Jordan Pifak was we don't know how much he's going to be in the plans at Union Berlin.
I forgot about Sibachu Pifak. I forgot about Jordan Pifak,
man. You want to talk about scraping the barrel? Here's one that you guys have not heard in a long time. Former
Josh
Bayern Munich Wunderkind, Julian Green.
Ooh,
he's been living life. Hold on. Before he's been living life. He's been living his best life at Firth, right? He's been just riding them there, yo-yo, up and down, second, first division.
And Max Dietz both played 90 minutes for Greuther Firth in a 2-0 win over Schottmains.
Dude, he's just living his best life, man. Good for him. He scored a goal in a World Cup. He scored a goal in a World Cup.
He might be back under Pochettino's
and Landon
system.
Donovan didn't go.
That's crazy. Johan Gomez started for Eintracht Braunschweig. No, it's Eintracht Braunschweig. That's what it is.
Sounds like a second division team.
And he also went the distance in a later game against Eintracht Frankfurt, who were without Timmy Chandler. I don't know what's going on with Timmy Chandler.
Maybe he just needed a hug, dude. Chill.
Yeah.
Damian Downs played 73 minutes for Cologne.
Wait, how have we not talked about the three-headed monster of players
Pellegrino
at PSV?
Matarazzo? Oh,
and and you're scraping the bottom of the barrel over here. We got Tillman, Malik Tillman, Ricardo Pepi, and never mind. Serginio Dest is no longer there.
Wait, were you talking about Belgium League or what?
No, I'm talking. They're at PSV, brother. They're out in the Netherlands.
All right, let's see.
The Dutch.
Not a lot of words. Cameron Carter-Vickers with Celtic did some stuff. George Bello was alive. Rokas Pukstas.
Hey, hold on. I meant to bring this up earlier. CCV. Does he have connections because of his time at Tottenham to Pochettino? Does Ponch have an opinion on CCV already, do we think?
Don't know.
All right. Excellent. Great question.
Anthony Fontana, another name.
Joe, that's the dude who reviews records. Stop it.
Anthony Fontana.
Although he did like the new Knocked Loose, which I give him credit for that one.
Cordy Osundina played 72 minutes for Dordrecht, while Josh Piendath started and was pulled at the half. Danny Trejo, dude, you can't sleep on Danny Trejo.
What, Machete?
Is he playing Hollywood FC or whatever that team is?
Him and Ian Hoffman over in Poland's Extra Klasa, doing well. Conrad De La Fuente over in Switzerland, also a name who plays for the USA.
I thought De La Fuente kind of like gave up on soccer. It was like,
well, he scored the opening goal for La Swane over in a 7-0 win over 6th-tier FC Champal in the Austrian Cup this weekend. So he did really well. Jose Gallegos did not do anything over in Denmark.
Do you guys think? Hold on. Do you guys think that I could play in the 6th division of Austrian soccer?
Oh, yeah. By that time, it's more or less like a beer league. So, yeah, by all means.
Maybe.
Okay.
Andres Jason went all 90 minutes for Aalborg. Milan Iloski played a little bit this weekend. Jonathan Amon did not do much for Lyngby in his 80 minutes of play. Disappointingly.
Oh, my God.
Andrea Novakovic played the second half.
Stop.
Gianluca Busio.
Jeez. You know what? We're literally like, we went through the barrel.
Wait,
already.
you don't want to hear about Marlon Fossey or Griffin Yao?
No,
let's be sicko. Hold on.
Brian Reynolds.
Be sickos.
That's a name.
Oh, did you hear what they did in their second game? They were down 2-0 the first game of the season, came back and won. So, I mean, the haters were coming out.
An American was in the lineup. That's how you win. That's how you win abroad.
I don't want to stand by that statement.
God forbid, you're beating up a 6th division team. So,
all right,
we made it through. Americans abroad.
We made it through. I want to bring this up though for a hot second. We heard about the Tim Ream move. Like, was there any transfers now that things are nearing the end that you guys like enjoyed? Is there anything you're excited to see? Whether that be like,
Marco Royce,
old school.
What's up?
What? Oh, he's too far from his mic. I think he was about to say one of the worst answers possible, but I want to hear it.
Marco Royce?
Dude, he is gonna play 7 games over the course of 2 seasons. He's gonna look at a soccer ball within the lower 48, and his leg is just going to disintegrate. There's no possible way this guy plays more. Like, there's no way he plays 10 games. No way. Absolutely. Unless I'm crazy. I don't know. What do you're excited about this? You're ready to see Marco Royce?
I think he's going to be an exciting name to add to the catalog of MLS players that isn't Messi, and one of the reasons why you would tune into the league, because, I mean, the Galaxy, he's the biggest name on the Galaxy right now, isn't he?
I mean, he by default, of course, right? Like,
Absolutely.
Instantly. Well, hold on. If you're a fan of soccer in LA, like, look at how hard they pushed Shaq in Chicago, even though it didn't work, right? Is Ricky Puig like a big deal in LA?
Ricky Puig is really bringing out the fans? No. And Jonathan Paintsill leading the attack? Yeah, right. That's really getting the LA fans. That's really getting Will Ferrell in the seats. I guess he's part owner of LAFC, so that's a conflict of interest. So
All right. I'll you know what? I'll allow that argument. I don't know, man. This transfer window was really kind of boring. Like Reynoso went to Tijuana, right? Like whatever.
Mhm.
Tim Parker was traded in a shocking deal where St. Louis sent him to New England. And
What about
St. Louis
Chicago
also-
getting Lassiter?
Well, we're gonna talk about that in a second. We are gonna talk about that. That is definitely a thing that exists. Anyway, I guess DPG has run away from this conversation. James is obviously hungry for news, so let's wrap up this segment with the Americans abroad. It's always a good time. When we come back, for the first time in weeks, we actually have very strong emotions, thoughts, and feelings about the Chicago Fire.
Yeah.
And it makes me
Feel things.
All right. Hit that like button. We'll be right back. Peace.
Ding dong, the witch is dead. Witch, old witch, the wicked witch. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead.
If you couldn't tell, fellow enemies of the fire, we are very excited. Georg Heitz has elected to step away from his post as the GM of the Chicago Fire.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you for thank you for your service. How happy are we? I'm pretty ecstatic.
So-
I feel like a year too late.
It's this should have happened a lot sooner. It really should have.
He went out, he did the ultimate sacrifice, and actually decided
Wait,
to
did he Joe Biden himself?
He Joe Biden himself. He put the club in front
He
of
put the club ahead of himself.
Yeah, exactly.
He cared this much about America, about Chicago, about this club that he decided to step away.
Just like Nelson Rodriguez.
Oh,
You shut your whore mouth with that.
oh man.
I will not, as much as I like to complain about hate against people like Jordan Morris, I will not stand any positivity for Nelson Rodriguez on this podcast. That is what do I call him? He is American soccer Baba Yaga.
He skis in
Like,
his jeans.
He is terrible. Now, Georg Heitz somehow, some way, keeps coming up with something. No, I'm kidding. He somehow, some way, made every horrible signing possible, and then on the way out was like, "Oh, striker, here you go. Here's Hugo Kuiper."
Acosta.
Not
good.
only
that
that, not only
Does
that,
that make up for anything?
not only that, he cleared the books for Shaqiri to get out of here. I mean, even though he was gonna leave anyways.
They
so,
both left on the same flight.
You're right. Shaqiri, the
They're
cube
both
is
going
gone.
skiing over in the Switzerland this weekend. Even though there's no snow, they're going water skiing on a little lake.
So, are we impressed that Shaqiri left so much money on the table and just was like, "Screw it, don't pay me. I'd rather start the season with Basel."
yeah, probably. I mean, for
Dude's
all we
won
know,
a
that was probably
Champions
the
League.
worst.
What did he have to stick around Chicago for? Another slice of pizza?
I mean, $4 million or $3.5 million he was still owed.
It's a big piece of pizza.
I mean, that's a big piece. Like, how much is he getting paid at Basel?
you know what? Yeah, that's the
700
thing.
grand?
And for all we know, he probably said, "Hey, let me go because Basel's interested in me, and they're about to start the season. I will leave the money on the table because they're gonna pay me that money anyways over there. Let's make it happen."
They are not gonna pay him that much over there. I
know
would
that.
like to know what his deal is.
For all we know, hey man, Soto might have hey man, the check's in the mail. Same.
No, that he'd be on Lugano if that was the case. He's not paying Basel to get better.
Which
Man.
of the two?
Which
Which of the two leavings makes you happiest?
George Heitz.
George Heitz.
George Heitz, 100%. I guess that this is the perfect transition. Thank you, James. To the fact that people are calling Shaq one of the worst DP signings in history.
Yep.
Dude, he's not even in the top 5 of the worst DP signings in Chicago Fire history.
No way.
He's in the top 5.
Monetary. We're talking about in monetary terms. He is.
No,
7
because
million.
listen, that's the argument.
Yes.
I will not fucking hear that argument because here's the thing. He hits against the cap the same amount that Panzel does, the same amount that Messi does, the same amount that Benteke does. So you can only judge him on that dollar amount because everything else is just who the fuck cares because Joe can afford that. So his value
he scored a lot
is
more
the
than other
value of a
DPs.
DP.
He scored a lot more than other DPs. He didn't score more than a Benteke or
No, he did not.
Or the guy over in Columbus, but
or Reynoso or Chuk. What's his name?
but he actually is better than quite a few past MLS DPs that have come over. I feel like Lampard was more disappointing. Gerrard was more disappointing. Pirlo, Bastin Schweinsteiger for the Fire was more disappointing than Shaqiri was. And I'm not just talking on a point per game basis. I'm saying as their performances in the kit. When he performed in the kit, he was on. I never saw Basti Schweinsteiger ever get on. There was one game he scored from a corner kick and he roused the whole stadium, but that was it. That was in his first game or his first or second game.
Yeah, first game.
He got this amazing header off the corner, but we never saw the wonder goals. We saw for all we knock on Shaqiri, he at least was great from the penalty spot, took all the penalty kicks. And stood up to the one goalkeeper who was grabbing his junk and was saying that Shaqiri has no balls, St. Clair, and still put it past him. But also he had a couple moves from play where he really had he scored some magic. He scored better goals than Bastin Schweinsteiger. Of course, he's playing midfielder where Schweinsteiger was playing defender, center back. But that's the thing. We signed Schweinsteiger to be a center back. That was more disappointing to see than what we saw from Shaqiri, in my opinion.
You guys know my feeling about German soccer and my distaste, just generalized distaste for it.
Mm-hmm.
So Bastian Schweinsteiger did not excite me in any way, shape, or form.
My favorite.
But I will say this, Shaqiri, I don't know. Shaqiri gave you exactly what Shaqiri was. The problem is he needs to be the 4th best player on the team, even on an MLS team. If he was our 3rd best player, even this would have been MLS contender every year he was here. You know what I'm saying? He gave you exactly what you asked for. I mean, personally, I think we would have saw even better if he had a better team around him.
Mm-hmm.
James. Think about when the lights was brightest. And
he showed up. He showed up.
That game against Miami last season, honestly, when that stadium was full.
I agree.
2 goals, an assist. He's
a big game player. He was a big game player. He showed up in MLS in the big games. He really did, and that's where Bastian Schweinsteiger. I expected him to show up in those games. I just never saw it. He just never did.
Well, that's the thing, that the team around Schweinsteiger was way better. The team around Shaq didn't give him enough big games to show up in.
We saw more from Shaq and Acosta than we ever saw of Schweinsteiger. At least Acosta's given us that amazing midfield goal. These are Rooney level, Zlatan level highlights.
God, that goal made it so now I can't ever leave a game early because like I stayed and saw that, and now it's like I can never leave.
That was such
again.
That was amazing.
That was a good goal. That was a good goal.
Absolutely amazing.
So
yeah.
So Heitz gone. We're ecstatic about.
Mhm.
Shaq gone. I thank you for your service. But I'm okay with it.
I'm okay with it though.
Fine
It opens up a spot, it opens up a big DP spot where they could take a big swing on a guy like a Griezmann, but what Griezmann level guy is coming to Chicago?
Well, maybe Antoine Griezmann. No. So, well, let's be honest. Hold on. The Chicago Fire this offseason are in the most exciting place possible. They will have the chance to they will have Hugo Kuipers as a DP, right?
Yep.
So they will have the chance to sign 3 other DPs plus 2 under 22
Wait, is there
players.
4 DPs now?
Yeah, there's 4 DPs and 3 under 22s or whatever. Or wait, is it 3 and 3?
I thought there was 3 DPs.
4. No. Because like if you get 3 DPs, you get 4 under 22s. So like it's wild now. So we're gonna have like literally 3 open DP spots plus. I think Guti is our under 22. We're going to have 3 other, what's his face? Navarro is too, but he's going to be gone. So we'll have like 3 other U22 players we can get as well.
They can have 3 DP players, and then they changed it that you could have U22, more U22 players, and it's no longer linked to. They originally said you could have like 2 top level DPs and more U22 slots, but they changed it so that you could have all 3 DPs and as many and all the U22 slots.
So you can have 3 DPs and 3 U22s.
Yep.
Let's see. There's another one.
What
here.
did I get something wrong?
Just you're saying 4 DPs.
That doesn't happen.
Or they can do 2 DPs and 4 U22s.
Oh, that's what it was. Okay. So we're gonna have 2 open DP spots because Gaston is going to get shot into the sun, and
Supposedly.
we have an open one already. And then, like I said, Guti is our only under 22 like contract because Navarro, Fetty, he'll be done.
I think he's done. I think Greg is gonna. Probably getting ahead of myself here, but I think Greg's gonna clean house.
Well, here's my big problem. Now this is the next topic of conversation. I keep hearing people talk about Greg Berhalter being the GM. No,
it's a hope. It's a hope and a dream right now.
No, thank you. Hire a GM and hire No, I don't want that. I want Greg to coach this team. I want a GM. I don't want him to GM.
You're not gonna have a guy like Greg Berhalter come in and just coach.
Well, then I don't want Greg Berhalter.
Maybe he brings in
Greg
his guy.
Berhalter is not.
Greg
Berhalter is not a good enough judge of talent.
If that was the case, George Heitz would still be here.
No, God,
maybe Greg's able to bring in his guy.
He couldn't sell George Heitz to us one more year. They're like literal like heads on pikes and stuff out front of Soldier Field. Like you can't sell that one more year. Like there's no way. I desperately want them to hire a GM and then hire Greg to coach this team. Or just don't hire Greg. Because Greg is not... What was our biggest problem with him with the U.S. team?
You know what's going to be funny? Greg Berhalter takes it to the MLS Cup next year.
Guys, Frank Klopas is still the coach of the club, though.
Up until the end of the year.
That's a formality.
That's we all know the writing.
He's about to be selling real
estate for the last season.
Yeah, he's at this point he's just a club steward. He's just there to he's a transitional coach.
He's the shepherd.
He's keeping the lights on, man.
Yeah.
He knows how to schedule practice. He knows how to actually get the paychecks into the players. Yeah, he knows what practice is.
He knows he knows where the keys to the ball, to the locker.
He's got directions to Bridgeview.
And they don't want to make another copy.
He's the one that brings all the juice boxes and the sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly.
He's got the hookup with the local deli. They don't want to. Fire don't want to push that.
So when he becomes, okay, hold on. My reptile brain has an idea. You hire a GM.
Who?
You hire Greg. Honestly, I kind of don't.
Greg's
no,
GM.
don't put that evil on me. You hire a GM. You hire Greg to coach the team.
No,
you get the
I'm
guy
not saying
who's,
Greg as GM. I'm saying Greg's GM, like his guy.
Oh, okay. Well,
His
it's
guy.
fine. Whatever. I don't really care right now. Honestly, I just want a different GM. I want Greg to coach the team, and then move the guy from Fire 2 as assistant coach, and then put Klopas as the Fire 2 manager.
What do you do with Omari Glasgow?
He's getting a senior roster spot.
Look, man, Klopas is gonna end up being the stadium greeter next year. Just saying.
Man,
He's gonna have a year off. They'll give him a year off. And,
Yeah, they'll give him a year off, and then the following year when you go in with your tickets, he's gonna say, "Hey, welcome to the Soldier Field."
He'll be next to Sparky after that. Yeah.
He might be Sparky too.
You guys, like, I know like that's what a logical human would do, but like he's working for Joe Mansueto. Like, he's getting another gig somewhere in this organization.
I wonder if this is the end for Klopas. What if Klopas parlays this into some sort of goes and coaches a Greek team over in,
or coaches like Montreal?
I think he's done.
Do you think he's done? Because look at what Ezra Hendricks is doing.
Yeah.
He's the new coach for Saint Gracia or something over.
He's
the Grenadines.
Saint Vincent and the Grenadines.
Saint Vincent and the Grenadines.
Yeah, which, by the way, congratulations to Ezra.
Yes, indeed.
He was a player for Saint Vincent and the Grenadines, and it's good to see. It's good to see the FA. Like, yes, the U.S. needed a non-American coach to move forward, but it's good to see countries celebrate the people that have come through the ranks. I was always kind of shocked that Dennis Hamlet never got the Costa Rica coaching gig, but I think he wanted to wear a suit more than coach.
Yep.
So I mean, is it a foregone conclusion? Is Greg gonna coach this team?
It's not. It's not a foregone conclusion. I think it's being willed into existence by some fans. We're really hoping, because what is the alternative? The alternative is an unknown quantity out there. It's a question mark.
They can't give us an unknown again
unless somebody gets shit canned in the next few weeks, like the head coach for Caleb Porter, like a coach like that. If somebody gets shit canned in MLS, I mean, GGG is at the top of the heap.
Caleb Porter is heading in the way of Jason Christ. That's what's happening.
Yeah, flash in the pan type of thing.
Yeah, don't bring that, because chances are, if you bring Caleb Porter here, that's it. He's gonna go in the way of Jason Christ. This is gonna be his last coaching gig. You're not gonna hear about him until you see him on TV.
Caleb Porter would be the best coach we've had here in the last 10 years.
Oh, Jesus. Don't bring that. Don't do that.
Am I not? Is it not true?
No.
Is it not
true? I don't know. It makes me mad because I don't feel like Caleb Porter deserves the MLS Cups he has.
Klopas? Any of those guys raise a candle to Caleb Porter.
Okay, hold on. If you had let's do this thought experiment. Give Klopas and Caleb Porter the same team, right? Like, let's give them a good team, though.
Well,
who would do better? Who would do better with LAFC? And I'm telling you this, I think Klopas.
Unquestionably.
I think Caleb Porter gets miracles. I think Klopas could be pragmatic and take a better team.
Miracles win 2 championships at 2 different clubs? No.
Dude, this is odd. I'm being very friendly to Klopas right now, and this doesn't feel right. But honestly, I feel like, given a good team, Caleb Porter has a better chance of torpedoing it.
You can give Klopas Messi, and he won't be able to do anything with it.
He wouldn't be able to close the deal if they went on a double date with 2 hot to trot college sorority chicks. Like, they wouldn't be able to seal the deal if he had Messi. There's no way.
I think, honestly, bro, Caleb Porter's probably going to be done after the New England job. He's probably going to be.
No, what?
The
why is there
60,
no? Hold on,
like, he's not Bruce Arena.
Yeah. Why is there no cross pollination with second division soccer in this country? Why do we never sign? Why we never move coaches back and forth?
The second division is like the death knell of your MLS coaching job. Like, that's it.
Well, it shouldn't be. It should be a training ground.
You're gonna end
It
up
should
being
be
a
a
guy.
natural.
You guys want to know what's a joke? The
The
Chicago Fire thought that they could get Jesse Marsh. He's now the coach for the Canada. Like literally, he had to say no.
If you
Chicago.
paid him enough, if you paid,
There was nothing you could pay Jesse Marsh that he was not to come to coach the fucking Fire.
If an MLS coach goes to second division, you're basically gonna end up being another Eric Ronaldo, pissed off, coaching a crappy team and not getting anywhere, and doing tell-alls on YouTube channels. That's it.
God, it's funny to see when some of these guys get old and bitchy. Like, it's really funny. I don't know, man. I just kind of resigned myself to the fact that it's Greg. I haven't even given myself a chance to believe it could be anyone else.
It's not Greg until it's Greg, and I hope it's Greg.
Honestly, I hope it's Greg because
I hope it's Greg.
Anything out there doesn't look good.
No, everything else out there does not look
good. You
as
say
good.
that, but what about what if we overpay like crazy for somebody who gets fired early on in like Serie A?
You know who's out there and it's available? Vieira.
Oh,
Patrick Vieira.
I dislike that.
He won with New York City.
He wouldn't come.
He won with New York City. He did well with them.
Yeah, he's not going to come.
I would rate. You did. You know what? You did change my mind on Vieira a lot with those actual stats and facts.
Mm-hmm. He was way better than Henry. Dude, Vieira would be a good coach. I'll take him or Greg Berhalter.
You're right. Not a question. He's way better than Henry. Same thing with Berhalter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I said, I have different standards for the U.S. team than I do for Major League Soccer.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like Kellen Acosta starting over, say, a Yunus Musah, I'd be like, what are you doing? This coach is stupid. But a Kellen Acosta on the Fire, it's like, oh my God, you're amazing. I love you. So it's like, it's different. So Greg would not make me furious, but there is not a 0% chance that Greg comes here and just completely sucks donkey balls as well. Right? Like Greg is not impervious to bad tactics. No. I mean, is there a way to believe? Can we believe that we can get something better than Greg Berhalter?
What, you want to go call Bob Bradley and ask if his son's available?
No, I mean, I don't. Listen, Michael Bradley.
Hey, Bob. Is Michael available? Can he come over and watch the Fire? Can he just mind them?
I would not be surprised that Michael Bradley does become a good coach, but he's going to have to eat, shit for a while, right?
He's an assistant out at Stabæk with for his dad.
You know what? Yeah. Stabæk just loves Bob Bradley because that's not his first time coaching there.
Nah.
He's coached there a couple of times.
Is Stabæk the place that fired Greg Berhalter because he didn't have exciting tactics?
Stabæk, he was there after Egypt for just a season. Then he went to then he went to Le Havre. Then he went to Swansea City. Then LAFC. Then Toronto FC. His major heyday was with the Fire.
Yeah.
Come back.
He still did way better at Swansea than he gets credit for. That was just still bullshit. That was like wrong place, wrong time, wrong channel. You know what I mean? It was just bad timing. And half of life is just timing. The other half is doing something. Honestly, man, it feels so good to have the confirmation that Heitz is gone. That's no longer a question. There's no longer a chance I wake up one day and they say they re-signed him and I just get ever closer to a heart attack. Huh?
You know what's the real kicker of all this is that based on the communication around Discord, the season ticket reps are actually telling potential season ticket holders like, "Hey man, Heitz is out. Heitz is done." How about
DPG? How many season ticket holders were calling and asking for this guy's head? Everybody was. So that's a selling point.
Nobody was happy.
This is the only time that I would say bullying actually worked because it got us this. Any other time, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But
Well, you say that it's not bullying. Like, well, there is a like.
it was
Let's be
customer
honest. Like
complaint.
in
It
your
was,
20s, you're way into sports way too hard. Like you just need to chill
Yeah.
the fuck out. But like if you're having a serious conversation, like man, I'm spending hundreds of dollars, and I go there and I buy. I'm spending $50 every time, and I'm spending another $30 on an Uber there, and then like I got to pay for the bus back. Like I'm paying all this money, and you're seriously gonna re-sign Heitz and like sign all these bad players? Like why?
Yeah.
There's a very adult way of saying that to somebody, and the season ticket reps are kind of like some of them are fans. Like the cat I deal with was a guy in the system who had kind of too bad of an injury and just
oh, I know.
like
I think I dealt with that cat the other day last year.
and like he wants to see the team do well. Like he wants it to be good. He's not dumb. You know what I mean? He knows nobody
A
was
lot of
happy.
these guys are playing for the club, with the way that they work hard for their job. They want the club to do well. And they want to bring something good they want to bring something good to you guys, the fans, us.
Well, it's where they work. What are they supposed to tell you? Like when a customer calls me and says the driver forgot something. It's just like, oh well, blah blah blah. Like I'm covering for, like, you know what I mean? It's just I don't know. What are they supposed to tell you? But
I feel for them, and I think they're gonna have a little bit more of an easier time selling fire tickets with the Heitz gone. I hope.
Yep.
Okay, so wait, one last thing. I guess like does anybody know anything about New York City FC this season? I know nothing. I guess they sold Teller Magno, or the Brazilian kid that they've been grooming for a couple. Well,
Yeah,
shit, that's like the worst.
Magno.
That's the worst way to have said that.
Oh,
But the Brazilian kid that they've been producing,
working.
right?
They've been pimping out on the streets of New York City.
Right? This is the worst fucking way to say that.
Like it's Taxi Driver Part 2.
But they sold him. I don't know anything about this team, so we're not going to do a preview. Let's talk about what happened with the Cube leaving. That opened up a spot, and we were like, dude, we're going to sign a player. Let's bring a difference maker. Let's make a push for the playoffs. And we signed Ariel Lassiter, which
Roy Lassiter's son.
Yeah,
correct.
Soccer royalty.
Which all you old MLS sickos will know that Roy Lassiter held the league record for goals for a season with 27 for a lot of years until Chris Wondolowski tied him. And then
also forget he also got arrested for funny story. He got arrested because he stole the TV a couple of years prior to his MLS debut, and they recognized him from a newspaper article about Roy Lassiter. So go figure.
Holy shit.
Roy Lassiter stole a TV years, like, let me guess, in college.
Yeah.
And then they were like, yo, this guy scored 27 goals. Go arrest him.
That's the guy that's
Holy shit. New York City FC is 10th in MLS. Chicago Fire is 25th in MLS. That is the current rankings. New York City has 11 wins on the season versus Chicago's 6 wins.
Well, does Lassiter make his move? Like, so I mean, this kid started life as a striker, like his dad, and then he got moved out to the wing, and now he keeps getting moved further back, like Raheem Edwards.
Other players are getting moved forward. But he's getting moved backward. That's a bad sign.
He's gonna end up being goalkeeper eventually.
Yeah.
So. And then,
now, I mean, he's shown flashes. He was with LA with the Galaxy for a lot of years. He showed flashes. He showed flashes at Miami. Surrounded by better players. Like, so he has some skill. It's not just daddy's reputation that's kept him in the league. I mean, he's been in the league for, it feels like 10 years at this point. Like I think he was backing up Jossie Zardes at LA type of thing.
I think his situation is this: if nothing happens with this fire stint, that's it. I think he might be going to second division.
He's a perennial MLS backup, and he's being tasked, being asked to play as a starter role for the Chicago, because this move allows Guti to move inside fully. And maybe he'll finally start to shine a little brighter, because Guti has not
wait,
had the
hold
greatest
on.
season.
I thought he was replacing the left back situation.
Oh, you mean with the ball?
Gaspar?
With the
Gaspar.
and,
with the Ball brothers.
Maybe.
The Ball.
I knew you were gonna say
I
that.
almost said something stupid. Anyway, so
Please
here's the
enlighten us.
question. And no. So if he's not to do that, does that mean Chris Mullins is just that far, or is just that down the pecking order? Like, what is this move? Is this a
Who the
Chris
hell's
Mullins?
Chris Mullins?
Or what's his name? Mueller, Chris Mueller. I've never been a fan of this guy.
Chris Mueller. Oh, you're right. Wow, that is kind of a slant on Chris Mueller, because Chris Mueller is the guy who should be taking over. Chris Mullins. I'm like, who's Chris Mullins? Like, isn't that a different MLS player?
No, he played basketball for the Warriors in the early 90s.
I was like,
I got him old. Anyway, I mean, that's the question. Is has that fallen off the, like, we're, I'm gonna say something.
I think the situation with Wheeler is this: he's probably gonna finish out his contract with the Fire, and some other MLS team's gonna pick him up and he's gonna tear it up.
I mean, here's hoping, right, for his sake. But
yeah.
I mean, as much as everybody's kind of excited, like, hey, we've got all these U22 spots and all these DP spots open and all these contracts coming up. Did anybody remember when Nelson Rodriguez did that to Garrick Heitz, when he had basically 6 players under contract, and instead of being able to build a team, he had to just literally fucking sign warm bodies? Like, Are we going to have that this time with the new GM? Are we going to just suck again next year because there's not going to be enough time to sign actual players to build anything around Kuipers and Acosta? It's just going to be warm bodies. Whoever, you have a pulse? Cool.
Oh, maybe they get Jurgen Klopp. He's available.
Toke is available too.
Yeah, I'm right here, bro. I need to lose some weight.
They're lucky that Ezra got picked up. They probably were looking at him.
I mean, but that's the question. It's just like, are we leaving the cupboard too bare for the next GM?
Dude, who wants to come fucking coach this squad? I'm
Greg
really
Berhalter wants it.
I hope so.
If you let Greg Berhalter be the GM, I can see conversations going differently with player acquisitions.
Yes.
In a good way.
I agree. I want him in control of player acquisitions. He could
I feel like he cannot evaluate talent.
Okay, dude, even if he just brought in half of his guys from the U.S. men's national team and half of them on GAM-TAM deals because they're not DP level, this team's way better.
But who he gonna call his old host? Like, look, how did that work out for FC Dallas?
We just read Joe Scally's looking for a team.
Joe Scally starts every fucking game in the Bundesliga. He's not coming to Major League Soccer, dude. We're talking about Paul Arriola and Sebastian Lletget and Acosta.
Don't bring the guy that cheated on him. Don't bring the cheater and don't bring the other guy. So,
dude, Greg's got pull.
But who else is like Greg's guy? That's MLS.
Who's Greg's guy who's looking for a job? And who's special? Gio Reyna.
Serginio.
It's time for Gio Reyna and Greg in Chicago.
What? Everybody needs to get their career back on track sometime.
Get back on track. Show the world.
That's like, dude.
Show the world.
You know what? Gio Reyna to the Chicago Fire is John Travolta in Pulp Fiction.
Yep.
Make it happen. Make it happen.
All right, guys. That's where we got to call it.
Right? Yep. What?
Chris Mullins.
Chris Mullins. Like for Chris Mullins. Let's give a like for Chris Mullins. Let's start a GoFundMe for Chris Mullins. Anyway.
It's Chris Mueller.
James, take us out, baby.
All right,
take
guys.
us out.
What a show it's been. Thanks for everybody for hanging around for the ride. Thanks for making sure you guys looking that like button in the eye and destroying YouTube's algorithm with the power of your finger, punting that like button. while you look it dead in the eyes.
Oh yeah, the Chicago House has a new GM and coach, and I don't know anything about the team or the guy. But congratulations on your
he's doing
gig.
double duties. You could do
he
it
is.
for that.
He used to be a player, I think, for the team. So congratulations.
Like a player, coach now. Throw in the GM too.
His name's Shannon. A boy named Sue.
Let's do this thing, Shannon. Peace out, everybody. We love you.
Shannon Seymour. All right, guys. See you guys later.
Good
Have a
night,
good one.
guys.
See you next time. Fight you in the comments.